Let's move on now to NHL, Jim. And this NHL, you know, you're like who's that team that keeps getting what's the NHL team there's one NHL, is it Pittsburgh? They win like 3-2, 3-2, 3-2, then they lose 7-1. Is it Pittsburgh who does that?
That was Antti Niemi's fault.
Right.
Antti Niemi's fault, who was just picked up off of waivers by the Florida Panthers. So whenever the Panthers give Reimer a break, we know to hammer, to fade Niemi and the Panthers.
So in sports, that's fine if you have 8 very close wins and then 2 blowout losses, your record is 8-2. In betting, that's not the way it goes. Although that would be an interesting way to thing for a book to offer. If a book offered, like, you know, you make 9 picks, and if you come out positive for the day, your bet wins. If you come out negative for the day, your bet loses.
That would be cool. Very cool.
That's cool, right?
Yeah, I like that.
We should start our own book and offer that, Jim.
I like it.
Yeah, but that is not the way betting goes for now. And so, Jim, when you have a bunch of 3-2 and 4-2 NHL days, and you're just looking like someone who has a great read on NHL, and then you have a 1-7 day, it ruins everything. So, Jim, I love your analysis in general, but do you mind if I read the overall records on the
please do.
Okay. In NHL, my record is 24-16. That's not counting all the pushes. I just throw the pushes out, which maybe I shouldn't do, but I throw them out for because I don't want to screw the average lineup, but it also messes with the ROI. But so my picks that have not pushed, 24-16 plus 10 units plus 23% ROI.
That's gorgeous. Woo! That's now, impressive.
Jim, and I would say many of those picks are influenced by your research, which is great. But your official record and your official picks of this show so far, 26-30, minus 5 units, minus 8% ROI. But you're coming off a great day where you had 2 puck lines and a few more of those days, and you'll be even, Jim.
Yeah, I have no problem with I mean, obviously, I don't like it.
Right.
But 20, is it 26-30 or 25?
26-30.
26-30, down 5 units. I can make that up.
Yes, you can. And as we've said from day one, there's been just something a little bit weird about your season, because you have gotten a couple of you've gotten a lot more unlucky.
I'm 1-7, 1-7 in overtime or shootouts.
Yeah. So that probably is something that will even out a bit. All right, so we got a whole bunch of games tonight. I don't even know where to start. I don't even know where to start. Why don't you start, Jim? What do you like here?
Well, I'm hoping, I've got some leans that I'm hoping that I can figure out with you and with
I'm not the one you want to be asking about this shit.
Well, you're looking very good in the NHL so far, so
right.
I'm going to need to break some of these things down with each other.
Okay.
But I can give you a first move, and what I see is an easy one. And I shouldn't, now I'm jinxed it, but
no, you did not.
The Tampa Bay Lightning are 8-1-1 with the number 2 offense, the number 4 defense, and the number 1 power play in the league. They are 5-0 at home. Victor Hedman is not satisfied. He's called out the team. If this team stays healthy, they have the best shot to win the Stanley Cup. They've beaten the Red Wings 8 straight times. The Red Wings are 0-4-1 in their last 5. They've only scored 9 goals, allowed 18 over that span. Now, they are getting some help. They're getting Danny DeKeyser back, which will help on the back end. And Andreas Athanasiou just signed, and he's a really good young player. But, and that's a but, I'm going to take the Tampa Bay Lightning on the puck line, minus 1.5. I just think the Lightning are a very good hockey team, and while they're healthy, I should hammer them every game. It doesn't make sense that I'm not doing it, and I beat myself up for not taking them when they destroyed Carolina on the road. I'm not going to allow that to happen anymore. I'm taking the Bolts minus 1.5.
Okay, plus 147 is the best line we can give you right now for Pinnacle. This is one of the games that in my notes I said it scares me. I'm staying way off it. Obviously, Tampa Bay is rolling. Obviously, they're great, but the line is just too high, Jim. You know what I mean? In my opinion.
You know, I got plus 130 on the Jackets, and I wasn't comfortable with that line.
Right.
I'm getting a better line here, and I'm going to take it.
No, but the Jackets one I kind of agreed with you on. I just thought it was a little bit too high, and I like the over. This one, I don't have a read on the total. I think it could go either way on the total. And you might be right. You might be right, and definitely, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying the game scares me. So
I hear you.
Yeah,
I hear
so
you.
I'm not playing it.
Athanasiou is going to help this team, but probably not in his first game. The Red Wings just clearly are scuffling. They're not scoring, and they've lost to the Lightning 8 straight times. I'm comfortable with the minus 1.5 and plus 147.
Okay.
I'm going to hammer this on my own personal action that I will tweet out later.
Okay, a lot of interesting games. I don't even know where to go now. Okay, let's go to Carolina and Toronto, right?
Sure.
Obviously, this is a big bounce back spot for Toronto. They got Carolina also got beat down in their last game. So Carolina can wait a minute. Did Toronto lose their last game? They did, right?
Toronto is 7-2-0. I believe they won their last game. I'll have to double check
the team
that.
With a bounce back. Maybe it's a home game. Anyway, at any rate, Toronto has an extra rest day. Just looks like a good spot for them. Carolina got beat down in their last game, and I got to be thinking that in this spot, considering the line, that the Toronto puck line here is a decent play, not overthinking it, and a shot with the over as well. What do you think, Jim?
I've not handled the Leafs well this year, and it upsets me. The Canes just lost badly to the Lightning 5-1, and they're 28th in goals for, averaging 2.4 a game, and they're playing against a team that averages 4.4 a game. Right. It's clear that the Leafs special teams are clicking. They're 4th in the power play at 28.9%, 8th in penalty killing at 85.3%. Yes, and Small Thrill just came in here and said, Toronto just beat the LA Kings, 3-2. That's right. And that was the game where I had them on the puck line and lost it in the third. Van Riemsdyk left the Kings game with an injury, but Babcock thinks he'll be in the lineup. I'm not handling the Leafs well, and I'm going to stay away from it. And I feel like it's kind of a very soft move on my part, but it's just not working, and I'm going to leave the game alone. The word we use for that in this show is pussy, not soft. I almost said pussy. Pussy, but I changed it for soft. Listen, listen. You get fear versus greed in all investing and in sports betting. I am going to take Toronto here on the -1 line. The money line part of that will be -150. The puck line part of that will be +185. Both of that is from the Greek. So you got small plus money here on Toronto -1 over Carolina. I just feel like there's a talent discrepancy here, and no reason to believe that Carolina shouldn't pull it out. I'm sorry, Toronto shouldn't pull it out, and not overthink it. I'm also leaning over on that one. And what do you think? Carolina just has a problem scoring, and if they get beat, they get beat. It's 6, so it's not a 5.5 line. Well, I think that Jeff Skinner always plays well in his hometown. I think the Hurricanes actually have a better defense than the Leafs. So, with all that considered, I just don't have people are hammering this on the chat, saying how good the Leafs are, but I'm going to stay with my. Okay, look, I mean, it's the line. If it were sitting here at -210, I probably wouldn't be on it. But at just -150 with the -1 volatility baked in, I will take that one. Next game, I guess let's just go down to chronological order. Arizona against the Rangers. Now this one, I suggested that maybe Arizona might be a good play as a big dog against the Islanders. You disagreed with that. You took the Islanders on the puck line and you cashed with that one, Jim. Still though, now I'm thinking that Arizona might be even stronger as a good play on the road against the Rangers. Arizona obviously not a good team, but I mean, look at the Rangers, dude, right? I mean, how are the Rangers this big of a favorite against anyone? I agree with you completely. Is this the spot? Is this the spot for Coyotes' first win? I also like the over here. These are two bad, small teams. They're combined 2-14-3. Andrei Pavelec is starting in goal for the Rangers. Pavelec has looked bad. 0-2 with a 3.76 goals against average, 860 save percentage. And I said it over and over again, trading one of your best centers for a 7th overall draft pick is what rebuilding teams do. And rebuilding teams don't sign a guy like Shattenkirk to $6.6 million a year. I just don't understand what they were doing in the offseason. Stepan is looking okay, and he's finding some chemistry with Max Domi. He's got 2 goals and 5 assists on that line with Clayton Keller. Tocchet says that the people in his analytics department say they're playing good. And I think people are lying to your face, Rick Tocchet. I don't know if Louis Domingue is going to be in goal or Aiden Hill. Now, Aiden Hill's looked quite a bit better. And Domingue was in for this last game, the 5-3 shellacking. Well, it wasn't that bad, but where Tavares got the hat trick. I like it. And I wanted to talk this out. I like the over. I'm going to take the over. That was a lean for me as well. I'm just going to take the side, though. But, all right, so you want the over would be 6 -105. Yes, and I am considering taking the Coyotes. And how are you going to handle taking them? Well, I'm taking them. With what, on the -1? The way I'm going to handle it is by taking them at the best line I can find, which would be +165 at the Greek. And, of course, how do I know that? SBRodds.com, the best free line shopping service in the world. SBRodds.com. Arizona on the money line, +165. I'm adding that one on, Jim. I think that's a good move, and I am only going to take the over.
Okay, over 6, -105. That's a line at Pinnacle, BetOnline, sportsbetting.ag, and a few other places. Okay, now let's move on. Winnipeg, Pittsburgh, another big favorite line here that I'm not quite sure is justified. Winnipeg has been off for a while, almost a week. Pitt got a nice win against Edmonton last game. Pitt is a good team, of course, but here also not quite seeing this big of a favorite line justified. Maybe so. I'm not liking this quite as much as Arizona, but I think I'm still liking it. Winnipeg at +155. What's up with that?
I think you're right. And the last time we had two dogs of this nature, and I said out loud, if just one of them hits, you do well.
Yeah.
And they both hit. So I might come back to both of these games. Now, I was shocked. I don't know about you guys, but I was shocked when I was researching this game. Evgeny Malkin, who, if you guys remember, fought Blake Wheeler last time these teams met. Malkin said that the Jets are the most physical team in the league. And that caught me by surprise. Now, any team with Dustin Byfuglien on it is a physical team, sure, but that caught me by surprise. The Jets have had last 5 days off. I don't think that helps. I know that it's good to be fresh, but 5 days is a lot of days off.
Because the speed can sometimes, take a period or two to get back.
If they were off for 3 days, I bet you I would have taken the Jets in this spot. But also, I've faded the Penguins, I think 3 times this year. Only won once, only won once when Niemi was starting his last game against the Lightning. But in saying all this, the Pens just lost Schultz to a concussion. He joins Matt Hunwick on the sidelines. Matt also has a concussion. The Pens D does not have a lot of depth. I think this is a really good spot for the Jets.
Yeah. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take this one at +1. I did that with Vancouver the other day, and that one wound up cashing, and I would have had an extra, almost 3/4 of a unit if I had taken them just to win. And this one, I might be doing the same thing if they win, but I think I'm going to take it a little bit safe. If it goes to OT, then I'm guaranteed to not take a loss. The money line part of that will be +155 at BetDSI, and the puck line part of that will be -184 at Pinnacle right now. So that's a small underdog, small favorite line for Winnipeg +1 against Pittsburgh.
It's interesting. In the chat, we have a Winnipegger. He goes by Demons Are Real. Says, I'm a Winnipegger and I am betting on the Penguins. Can you add to that? Can you give us some more?
Anytime I hear something like that, that makes me think that guy's right. Anytime someone says, like, I am from this place, I follow this team day in and day out, no matter what their opinion is, I take it very seriously, and I take it even a little more seriously if they're betting against their team.
And if they have the name Demons Are Real, I take it even more seriously. But can you please add to that comment?
Yeah.
We'd like
more
more
information. All right,
information.
I'll hold off on that one. I'm taking that off my official pick. No, that is enough to put, because it was borderline anyway. And when I hear a comment like that, I'm holding off. I was also leaning under on this one. I like the under in the Pittsburgh Edmonton game and didn't have the balls to give it. But Pittsburgh can be kind of a modest scoring, and and of course Winnipeg's goalie you like, right?
I do. I like Hellebuck.
Yeah.
Cleveland Steamer comes in and says, Jets play a heavy, lazy game and are prone to take too many penalties because of it. Don't overthink. Take the Penguins -1.5 in regulation. Wow. Well, this is very interesting.
Yeah.
I love this stuff. But at this point, I'm going to stay off both the Jets and the Coyotes. And
now, what about the under at 6.5? Is this one of those games that should be that high of a total?
it shouldn't be.
Yeah.
It should not be that high of a total.
But what?
Well, with the Jets' rest, are they going to play sloppy after
you
not
think
playing
that
for
it's
5
just
games?
going to be like 4-0 after like a period and a half?
No,
for
I don't.
Pittsburgh?
I don't at all. I don't at all. I think Hellebuck's a good goaltender. I don't. But are they going to play sloppy, not playing 5 days in a row? Are there going to be goals? Demons Are Real has come back to that the Jets are not great on the road. We need more. We need more Demons Are Real. I think that's too high. I think 6.5 is too high. All
right, I'll throw that one on there. I did bet that one, and it's bouncing down, up and down, up and down. Under 6.5 -108 is the best line that is available right now. I mean, not only is it 6.5, but it's not even a big money line. It's just -108. So the odds. So under 6.5 -108, I will take that one. And definitely leaning. Winnipeg as well, but we'll see. All right,
Michael Irvalina says 6.5 is way too much.
Yeah. All right, so I'm on the under 6.5 -108. I did bet that one. Let's keep moving on. Another one that's interesting is San Jose against Boston. And what's your take on Martin Jones? Is he for real? Been playing great.
He is for real.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So, in general, we believe that San Jose is a little bit old and a team we might look to fade unless they're a huge underdog here. Tuukka Rask supposedly back in goal for Boston. What do you think? Is Boston just a small home favorite a good play?
No. No, they're not. I like the Sharks here. It's been 12 years since Big Joe Thornton was traded to the Sharks. And he's looked okay, 1 goal, 5 assists in 8 games. The Sharks are 2-1 on their 5-game road trip and have impressed me. Logan Couture has 6 goals in his last 4 games. Martin Jones is white hot, 4-0 in his last 4 games, 1.26 goals against average, .957 save percentage. Now, the Bruins' top 3 centers may not play. Now, Bergeron might play, and they've moved Backus back to center because of it. But without Bergeron, Krejci, and Spooner, they just can't beat the Sharks. I wasn't sure. I wanted to talk this game out too and figure it out. But I like the Sharks here, and it just makes sense to me. And let's see what number. I'm getting a plus number.
Yeah, plus 102 is the best line we could offer right now.
I'm going to take the Sharks at plus 102.
Okay, San Jose plus 102, and that's at Pinnacle. All right, we got to move it on. We're coming up we got about 10 minutes to go before we're up on an hour here. Detroit, Tampa Bay. We talked about Philly and Ottawa. You've mentioned that Philly had some good games recently, but you mentioned that you believe that was a little bit of an illusion. Ottawa maybe underachieved a little bit recently. Is Ottawa a good play here as just a small home favorite?
I don't think they're a good play either because Kyle Turris is now out, and he's a huge part of their team. Now he joins Bobby Ryan, Zach Smith, Colin White, Clark MacArthur on the injury front. Turris has 8 points in 9 games. It's a big loss. The reason why I don't like Flyers so far this year is because I don't like Brian Elliott. I've said all year that Newvirth will take over the number 1 spot on the depth chart, and he's going to do that, and he's playing tonight. I like the Flyers here. I like the Flyers here, and I like the under.
I was leaning under as well. So you want to make those official picks?
I do.
What? All right, the Flyers' best line right now would be plus 101 at Pinnacle sportsbetting.ag. Philly plus 101, and you want the under as well?
I do.
All right, let me find that one. Philly, Ottawa under 5.5 minus 101. Minus 101, and the under 5.5 minus 101. I was definitely liking the under myself there, and I'll think about whether I want to add that one on. LA Montreal, an interesting matchup here. Carey Price and Quick. Maybe an under on this one as well. What's your take on this one, Jim?
This is the Canadiens are a tough team. I'm going to pass. Tough team to figure out. They lead the league in shots at 38.2, but can't score. And I truly believe that all their shots are coming from the periphery. There's no one ever in front of the net. They scored their 4th and 5th power play goals of the season. The Kings have the best penalty kill in the league at 91.2. Now Kyle Clifford joins Jeff Carter on the injury front. And the Kings are getting unexpected offense from guys I don't know much about, like Adrian Kemp, and they're getting great goaltending. After beating the Senators, they're 7-1-1. I like the Kings here, but I'm going to leave this game.
Okay, then Anaheim, Florida, very interesting game, getting great play from goalie Gibson, and 2 straight high-scoring games. Before that, though, they were having problems scoring, obviously. And then Florida, Jim, we were expecting a good game from them against Montreal. They got beat down. Now Florida's at home as a very small home favorite. What's up with Anaheim? Are they good now? Is their scoring for real? Is Gibson for real?
Yes to all of them. They're getting healthier. Lindholm is such a huge addition to this team. 6th overall pick in 2012 draft. When they get Fowler and Vatanen back, they might have the best defense in the league. Florida is 2-1 at home, but they're doing the little things poorly. 28th in goals against at 3.8. They're the worst penalty killing team in the league at 69.7%. Reimer has looked pretty good this year until the Habs game. The Ducks are for real, and I think there's going to be goals scored in this game.
You're not worried about Gibson playing so well for the Ducks?
I'm a little concerned about Gibson playing very well, but I think the Panthers score goals at home.
Yeah.
But they made me look really bad in Montreal. I don't know if they were excited to get home or what. I'm going to leave this game out of it because I have not had a good read on the Panthers right now.
Yeah, I was definitely leaning over as well, and my only concern was Gibson playing well. He's had 5 straight games that I'm saying before the last 2 games where Atlanta exploded, where Anaheim exploded offensively. He had 5 straight games that went under 5.5. Do you think it's more likely to resemble those 5 games or the last 2 games where he played well, but Anaheim put up enough points to get it over on their own?
Yeah, I think that Gibson is playing well. And there's some talk in the forum where people don't like the under or the over. This is a tough spot. I think the Ducks I'm surprised at how, sometimes when teams don't have their stars in the lineup early, it makes them come together, and I think the Ducks are going to be a really good team this year.
All right, so I'll think about that one. I'm definitely leaning over on that one. And then we got 3 other games: Minnesota and the Islanders, Edmonton, Dallas, and Washington, Vancouver. What's up with Edmonton? Are they going to start picking it up at some point? If you recall, I predicted. What was it? Yeah, it was the Calgary game where early on in the year where I wanted Calgary to beat Edmonton. Edmonton beat them, but it turned out that my sense of Edmonton that they were going to underachieve a little bit in the early weeks was accurate. Are they going to pick it up at some point? Probably as it come this game at home against Dallas. Don't know. Washington, Vancouver. I was thinking about the under, although that total is headed down now. It's a 5.5 down to about minus 120 or 125. Any of those 3 games, do you have any picks on, Jim?
I do. I don't have a pick on the Capitals Canucks game, but I think you're on the right track taking unders with any game the Capitals are involved in. They have lost Burakovsky. They have nobody scoring. No one's doing creating any offense except for that first line. No secondary scoring whatsoever. But yes, I have some picks. I'm taking the Oilers tonight, and I'm also taking the over. The Oilers have won 2 of their first 8 games. They have the lowest scoring team in the NHL at 1.9. They have only 4 goals in their last 3 games. I don't think that will continue. They've only scored 6 goals this year that McDavid hasn't been a part of. All these offensive woes, and they are second in the league with 37.8 shots a game. I think the goals will come.
Okay.
And Hitchcock is not pleased with how top-heavy his team is. That's what I said before the year started when I put plus 500. I got plus 500 on them not to make the playoffs. Spezza, Hansel, Radulov have 2 goals in between them. Bishop got pulled last game. I'm wondering if this is a spot where we can get some more pucks. He can lose some more confidence. I like the Oilers coming back, and because they've won 2 of their first 8 games, I'm getting a nice number.
So you want them on the money line or the puck line?
The money line.
Okay, minus 120 at Pinnacle is the best line right now, and the total is over 6 plus 106. Is that good for you?
Over 6
plus 106.
Plus 106.
Yes.
Taking it.
And what else do you want, Jim?
I'm also taking the under in the Islanders at Wild. The Isles have won 3 straight, just scored 5 goals on Domingue and the Coyotes. Don't let that offensive outburst against the worst team and a bad goalie fool you. Their offense is not good. Their power play is second last in the league at 7.1%. We know that that's how you score goals in the NHL is on the power play. And if you're hitting at 7.1%, there's a problem. Eberle is not helping. And the Wild are really banged out without Parise, Niederreiter, and Coyle. Those huge losses up front. They still have Stahl and Koivu and Granlund and Ennis and Stewart, but they are going to play a very strict defensive game, just like they did against Vancouver in the last game. So I like the under here.
Okay, 5.5 minus 105 is the best line that we can offer there, and we're just about going to wrap it up. I'm going to try to play it a little bit cute, and hopefully I won't get burned. I'm agreeing with you on the Islanders, Minnesota, and I like the Washington, Vancouver unders. So I'm going to take the first period unders in both of those games. What do you think about that? A little stupid, right? A little stupid there. No. All right, let's Islanders, Minnesota first period under 1.5 minus 102, and Washington, Vancouver first period under 1.5 minus 110. That is at Intertop's best line there. Pinnacle has minus 111. Intertops has minus 110. Hopefully, I won't wind up getting burned, getting cute by that, trying to get cute there. But I will add those 2 on there. And the Anaheim, Florida game, I'm leaning over on that one. What do you think? That seems like a good play there, right? I will take that one. I will take that one as well. Anaheim, Florida, over 5.5. Hopefully, one of those teams will have an offensive explosion. One of those goalies will crap to bed. What do you think?
I think you're on the right track. I'm going to add one pick. I am going to go with you guys on the Winnipeg-Pittsburgh under 6.5. I think that's too high of a line, and I was hesitant, but I'm going to come with you guys. Okay,
so why don't you review the recent comments, see if there's anything interesting that you want to mention while I update all these picks here, and then we'll wrap it up, okay?
Well, Demons Are Real thinks that my Oilers pick is ridiculous. He asks if I just caught a brain STD from a bus fare hooker. Then there were Mikey saying, isn't Vancouver dog shit at home? And they're a different team right now than they were at the start of the year. Having Virtanen on the line with the Sedins is given them some real depth and some different looks. So I think that we're not sure exactly what Vancouver is right now. But Kent Davies thinks Capitals is an easy pick. Cleveland Steamer says anybody versus Minnesota is good NHL pick. And I don't think that. I think we're going to start getting more value with Minnesota. I actually disagree. I was going through their roster this morning, and it has a lot of depth. I'm sure they're missing 3 huge parts of their offense, but man, they have a good team.
All right, Jim. Well, we got to wrap it up. We're coming up on an hour here. Let me just review. It's a huge hockey card. We wound up throwing a whole bunch of picks on there and, a bunch of leans that weren't there. Jim is on Tampa Bay puck line, Arizona Rangers over 6, San Jose money line plus 102, Philly money line plus 101, and the Philly under 5.5. Winnipeg Pittsburgh under. He just threw that one on. Isles Minnesota under 5.5, Edmonton minus 120, and the over 6 plus 106.
It's a lot of games.
Yeah, I'm on Toronto -1, Arizona money line plus 165, Washington Vancouver first period under, Isles Minnesota first period under, Anaheim Florida over 5.5, and Winnipeg Pittsburgh under 6.5 minus 108. A lot of leans, whole bunch of picks for us. Jim, hopefully it all comes out in the wash in the end, and we're up a couple units tomorrow, and we'll be back tomorrow for the Friday card. Thanks for all the comments. Thanks everyone for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks, guys.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to our channel. Now, we've put a lot of work into producing all these free videos, so please help us out and keep all our content free for you forever by simply liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Now, not to mention, a visit to our industry-leading website will warm the hearts of all our SBR employees, especially myself. Now, the links are over there to the left, so do check those out. Thanks for watching.